Brock Lesnar returns a new United States champion, an absolute snore main event on Raw. I'll tell you what I think in today's review.
And cover. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Okay, let's get into the first segment. But what if I win? The opening of Raw was okay. It backlogged the history between Vince McMahon and Roman Reigns. It really didn't have a problem with it. It wasn't good, wasn't bad, but it did set the pace for the rest of the show. I sort of liked it, but the main event ends up being so bad, and I'll cover that much later, that I have just a bad taste in my mouth for the whole show. Like I said, it wasn't good opening. It wasn't a bad opening. It was just Raw. And it, like I said, it set the pace. One of the things I found kind of funny about this, as at one point when they're introducing the All vs. One match and they're going through all the wrestlers that are on the stage, they cut to the Wyatt family and they cut to Bray Wyatt and he says, "Anybody but Roman," or something along those lines. And they cut back to the McMahons. It was almost, yeah, whatever. And yeah, what was that segment even doing in there? I don't really have much interest in the Wyatt family. My interest is the rivalry between Stephanie, Vince, and Roman. They got Roman on. They got Roman off. It was pretty effective. That's all I got to say about this. Do I have a rating for this one? I'll give it 2 slutty Stephanies. Okay, one thing I neglected to mention in the opening of the show is that Dean Ambrose was attacked by Sheamus from behind, and that led into the first match of the night. The result was no contest, a double countout. After that match, Kevin Owens attacks Dean Ambrose, and it's a big advertisement for what I think could be potentially a 5-star matchup at the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose's feud has been nothing less but perfect. The build has been fantastic. I expect these guys to do great things. They both have very, very different styles. I love Kevin Owens. I love his neck beard from Quebec, everyman, independent type wrestler versus the actual combination of Roddy Piper and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I do love Dean Ambrose. I expect great things from this match. It's probably one of the most exciting things that will be a part of the Royal Rumble. Now, I didn't get to see this match in its entirety because the legal place that I was watching it, the educational place that I was watching it, actually didn't have it. But I really don't think there was much to this match. It basically is an advertisement what is sure to be a fantastic match come the Royal Rumble. Next on the card is Stardust versus Titus O'Neil. I gave this match a lot of criticism last week, and I really don't feel anything different. It's strange to me that Stardust is still in this particular persona of Stardust. They're obviously going to work back his Cody Rhodes persona eventually, and it's probably a good idea. Stardust is doing some great things in the ring, and nobody's really reacting. I'm not terribly impressed, and I'm not on the Titus O'Neil train just yet. He's a very typical, prototypical power wrestler. He is very much over with the fans. The most interesting thing about this match was the tribute to David Bowie, where Stardust wore a very Ziggy Stardust type makeup. That's it. That's all I got for this one. There's nothing going on. I give it 1 slutty Stephanie. Chris Jericho's highlight reel is back, and it was a decent segment that led to the Usos going up against the New Day. The winners, of course, are the Usos. My opinion of this particular match, it actually kind of surprised me. I'm not a big fan of tag team wrestling, and there was a lot of back and forth offense on both sides. I kind of dig that because I don't like the formula or the template of the hot tag, but eventually we do go into that formula. The Usos do get the hot tag. They start to kick some ass, but that actually didn't lead to the victory. Chris Jericho takes the trombone and smashes it, and it's a really funny scene, and that leads to an Usos victory. One thing I want to point out about this match that I do find interesting is that I'm not a big fan of the Usos gimmick, but I sort of like the way they came out and were a little braggadocious and very challenging. They're usually just so good and so nice. I kind of like the slightly edgier but still face Usos. That was actually pretty cool. The match was great. I enjoyed it. The New Day entertained. Chris Jericho did his job and entertained. I give this 4 slutty Stephanie. We have a new United States champion, and his name is Kalisto Alberto Del Rio. The former United States champion does the job, the clean job, the 1, 2, 3 pin for Kalisto. Congratulations to our new champion, Kalisto, and I really don't have a problem with this. It was a little bit of a surprise, but I think I know why. WWE, and I think the fans and everybody else, thinks that Alberto Del Rio's comeback has been a bit underwhelming. I've noticed this last week, and in fact, I've noticed this since Del Rio came back. It's just, he's not that interesting. I'm a Del Rio guy. Nobody is really into what he's doing. And if I got to put my wrestling tinfoil hat on, the way I saw Del Rio wrestling, it did come off to me like he was wrestling like a guy who didn't want to do a job. Now, that's a guess on my part. I wouldn't accuse Del Rio of, I don't know, being that unprofessional, but I just, with his cool, calm, collected manner, his lack of excitement, he seemed like a guy that didn't want to do a job. And you know what? Maybe he's disappointed with his comeback, too. I give this to Slutty Stephanie. And now, to the absolute snooze fest, the all versus one match, Roman Reigns versus the Locker Room. Or really, should I say, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens, and then a schmoz at the end. I didn't like this match. It was boring, and it was extremely predictable. I think it exposes Roman Reigns, his in-ring wrestling ability, and here's why. He didn't have good chemistry with Kevin Owens. How do you not have good chemistry with Kevin Owens? I mean, let's take a look at Roman Reigns. He's not good on the mic. He has limited ability in the ring, and he doesn't have good chemistry with a guy that can carry guys that aren't that good. I don't think Roman Reigns' championship run will last very long. I think there'll be an upheaval, and I think they'll move on to somebody else. There's a lot of holes in Roman Reigns' game, and it took basically the greatest heel in history to get him over. Now, he did get over. Let's give him credit, and the storyline isn't all that bad. What else happened in this match? Okay, and then this wasn't really all that great either. Very predictably, Brock Lesnar was back. We were told the whole night. He comes in, and he beats up everybody. Everybody thinks that Brock Lesnar's going to come in and beat the hell out of Roman Reigns, but no, he turns on Vince McMahon, and he beats up the New Day and everybody else he can get his hands on, Sheamus, Del Rio, you can name it. And then, of course, he lays into Roman Reigns, who's already had his butt kicked from the all versus one match. Really, could you have done something different, less predictable? I mean, it's Brock Lesnar, and the crowd was wild, and it was exciting for about 7.2 seconds, and then I realized that I got kind of ripped off. This could have been a lot bigger entrance. In fact, now that I'm looking back on it, I really wish that I had not known that Brock Lesnar was coming back tonight. I don't think they should have advertised it at all. A surprise might have saved this, but all in all, the all for one stunk. I give it absolutely, all right, one Slutty Stephanie. Okay, that's it, everybody. That's my Raw review. Make sure you like and share and put some comments below. I'd love to hear what you say. What did you think about last night's Raw? I'm Tommy C. This is Shot from the Point Raw, and I will see you.